How to make that guy in your life separate you from all the bevy of ladies that he's been encountering. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now, ladies, have you ever wondered how to make that guy in your life fall for you? Now, right here on this episode, I'm going to show you 7 ways you can get that guy that you've been eyeing to say, I love you. Stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Harold Amenyah. I'm an actor, brand influencer, TV and event host. Now, on today's episode, I take, time out to share with you some of the ways that myself and, my guys actually admit, 7 ways in which they admit they can actually fall. So ladies, you want to make sure that you have your pen and paper ready because I'm going to be sharing with you tips on how to make that guy in your life fall in love with you. Now, ladies, I must add that this is not a one-size-fits-all situation, but in most cases, these pointers could help you make headway. Stick and stay. Ready? Are you ready? So in no particular order, these are the ways you can make that gentleman in your life fall for you. Number 1, make his stomach your priority. Now, ladies, this might sound funny, but trust me, ever heard the saying that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach? Yes. Whoever said that never lied. If you really want to grab a man's attention, make his stomach your priority. Now, when I say this, I'm not talking about always being in the kitchen cooking for that man in your life. Of course, if you do that, that is a plus for you. But the point is, making his stomach your priority is just about making sure that your man is always well taken care of when it comes to his food needs. Now, ladies, we all know that men can sometimes be very busy. In fact, majority of the time, your male interest is going to be busy with work, with one thing or the other. Men are always trying to achieve one target or the other, and that can actually take their attention off their stomachs. So what you want to do to get that man to, consider you or put you on a certain pedestal on their radar is for you to constantly worry about what they eat and if they eat at all. All right. You want to find out what their favorite dish is. And then, once in a while, surprise them, give them a treat, take them out, take them to dinner, food, make it happen. Whichever way possible, man. And trust me, you'll be making a difference in their lives. Point number 2, be his peace. Now, this may be the most important thing you want to consider. Ladies, when guys are considering having a long-term relationship with a lady, one of the things they ask themselves is whether you are going to be their peace. Guys are always looking for peace. Trust me, peace is one of the most important things men consider when they want to have long-term relationships with any female. Now, don't get me wrong. You can't do much for an insecure guy, but you can definitely try and not add to their already chaotic lives. When I talk about giving somebody peace, I'm talking about making sure that when they have gone through a very tough day or they're going through tough times, you are there for them. You don't want to be that person in their lives who is always adding drama and bringing drama on their table, because trust me, life is always going to throw lemons at us. But when you find yourself in that person's life, you want to find out if you are adding to their lemons or helping them turn lemons into lemonade. Point number 3, drum roll. Now, point number 3 is compliment him. Ladies, you want to compliment your man. Now, men in general do not receive compliments as much as women do. And trust me, every human being definitely likes compliments. If a man comes across as one who doesn't like compliments, trust me, they may be lying. You want to compliment your man. I see this a lot of times when people only criticize when something goes wrong and don't say anything good when something goes right. You don't want to be that lady in a man's life who only talks about the negatives and never talks about the positives. By all means, compliment your man. Now, there's several things that you can actually find to compliment. You can compliment them in bed. You can compliment how well they drive. You can compliment how well they dress. You can compliment how young they look after getting that clean shave. There's so many things you can compliment a man about. So make sure that the next time you look at your man and you thought he was hot, just voice it out. The next time that you sit in his car and he drives you so well and safely to your destination, tell him how much of a good driver he is. Don't keep it to yourself. And don't forget, keep it genuine. Now, ladies, point number 4 is respect. Respect is something that cannot be overrated. Every human being loves and would appreciate respect. But when it comes to men, it's even on another level. Men are always on an ego trip. So, ladies, whenever you are in a position where you have to give feedback or to even criticize or judge something about your man or that gentleman in your life who you've been eyeing, you want to do it with a lot of respect. Treat your man with respect, and trust me, you win him forever. Now, one of the things that men dislike is for them to be looked down on. The last thing you want to do is to look down on your man, even when he looks or comes across as stupid. When he makes a suggestion that doesn't make sense, or he says something that you think is not even right, or you disagree with him, you still want to do it with respect. Now, there are several instances where your man will make certain suggestions that might not be exactly reasonable or even sensible, if I must add. But always make sure you address these things with respect, because trust me, a man does not joke with their ego. Point number 5. You want to allow him some space. Now, nobody likes to feel smothered, okay? And the last thing you want to do is to come across as a desperate lady. Even when you love and you can't help but be around this person all the time, you still want to make sure you give them some space at most times, because you know the way the human psychology works is that there's something isn't available or something is so hard to get, that is even when you develop a liking and an interest more in that thing. So you want to make sure you allow that gentleman some space. Not to say you completely take yourself out of their lives or out of the picture, but you know there's always a way to do it. And I'm sure when it comes to these things, you can always feel when you are smothering him, or you're being in their space too much. You should be able to tell. And everybody would love to spend time with themselves, and you want to make sure that your man or the man that you're eyeing has those moments where they can spend time with the people that they love apart from you. And trust me, when you do this, they would know that you are busy with other things, and you can always give them some space even when they enter marriage with you. Number 6, show an interest in his day-to-day activities. Men tend to drift away when it comes to conversations with their partners, because what happens most of the time is the women in their lives do not find a way, or are not able to find a way, to get into their lifestyles or their activities, and therefore there is nothing to talk about most of the time. What you want to do is to find out what your man is engaged with or busy with during the day, and that would help spark conversations on a daily basis. Now, you want to make sure you're finding out things like how their day went, what food they ate. Remember, I talked about making their stomach your priority. You want to talk about the challenges they had during the day. You want to talk about the achievements and the good in their day as well. You want to find out all these things, either via text or even phone calls. And trust me, when you do these things and you always take a liking or interest in what they do or what they get busy about during the day, there'll always be something to talk about. Don't be that lady who is always focused on themselves and always not interested in what their man does. Now, there's a disclaimer to this particular pointer. And when it comes to this particular pointer, you want to do it with a lot of conscience, okay? You don't want to be overbearing. You don't want to come across as someone who is always in their space as well. Now, ladies, there's always that time or that little voice that will tell you when you're overdoing something, if you will be real and honest with yourself. So you don't want to be or come across as that person who is overly available as well, who doesn't have anything to do and be texting your man every 30 minutes, asking them how their day is going, where they are, and what they're eating. No, you want to make sure that you're doing it in moderation. At the same time, with that sense of care and attention. You know, if you get what I mean, there's always that point where you can actually decide or determine whether you're overdoing something or not. Make sure you are checking on your man and finding out how their day is going and finding out what they are up to, but also make sure you're not overdoing it. Now, the last but not least on this list today is compliment his lifestyle or his life in general. Now, ladies, you want to fit into your man's lifestyle. When it comes to this point, it is very important, because for a man to want to show you off or hang with you or, just spend time with you, you have to find a way of fitting into their lifestyle. Now, what do I mean by this? Find out what your man loves to do, what he enjoys doing, where he likes to hang, the people, even the people he likes to hang out with, and find a way of fitting into it. Find a very smart and ingenious way of fitting into this lifestyle. And trust me, they would always enjoy dragging you along. Now, a perfect example is an antisocial lady who is dating a very sociable guy. You don't want to be that woman who is always stuck indoors, leaving your man to go hang out with their friends. Regardless of how antisocial you are, if you really want to win your man's attention, you want to meet him halfway. Find days where you two can hang out and have some good time together. Now, ladies, these are but a few pointers for you, but I must add that there are so many other ways of winning that guy's attention. But remember, if this video has been very helpful, don't forget to like and share. Also, click on the subscribe button to subscribe and turn on the bell to get notifications anytime I post some content. Shout outs to my wife, Mrs. Amenyah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great time coming your way. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms. My handle is @Amenyah across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. And my wife's handle is @I am Mrs. Amenyah. It's been great coming your way. I'll see you next time.